that than she would have had of the award.
Oh, for sure. If y'all don't get the donuts, I'm just telling you, if I have to take those home and I break my diet, I have been on my diet for, this is my 5th day now. And I have confirmation that my girl at Sonic is going to be there tomorrow morning, so I'm going to go back there tomorrow morning. We good?
Yep.
Probably don't want the one I wrote all over. All right, so intermediate. Who's an intermediate? How are we doing over here?
They look easy, but they're not. Well, they're easy to do, but I feel like my answers are all wrong.
Okay, but you do have answers.
Yes.
Okay. Are you intermediate, baby?
Yeah.
How did you do?
I'm struggling on number 2.
Oh, the fraction. Yes, the fraction gets everybody, right? Like, it's just, I don't care how old you get, the fraction will still torment you for the rest of your life. You're gonna be going to make a cake, and you're gonna be like, 1/4, 1/4, I don't know. Let me grab a marker and then we'll do it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You ate it. Maybe you see half of it. Maybe one more wants to come. I don't want to be responsible for your coma. And I'll tell you that the apple fritter is amazing. These people are sleeping on there. These people are sleeping on the apple fritter. Camille, did you get a donut, baby? Are they against your religion or something? You can have a cheat day.
Bye.
Bye, baby. Love you. Take care.
I used to work.
You too?
Who's that lady?
Oh.
Is she working?
Yes. She. What's the social media?
Oh, TLIC?
Yeah, she does that.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Hey, let's do this. Let's do this, and I'm not sure how. Because we're going to run out of space really quickly. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to write up number 2 over here. 3/5 x minus 1/6 equals 4. And then I'm going to write up 3 right here so we can erase them, and then we'll put them back. Does that sound good? 0.18x minus 0.2 x minus 3 equals 0.19x plus 1.3, okay? So we're going to do that right now. Then we're going to erase 2 and 3, all right? All right, so as we start looking at your test 1 is, which class are you in, baby?
Intermediate.
No, I know that.
Oh.
Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Tuesday, Thursday.
So yours is,
Tuesday is our test.
your test is Tuesday?
Yeah, it was supposed to be Thursday, but you moved it to Tuesday. It was supposed to be yesterday. You can change that.
What class are you in, baby? Are you Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday?
Tuesday, Thursday.
I feel like I told Monday, Wednesday, their test was Monday. Well, how the heck do you know? You weren't even there.
Oh, I thought you were talking about our Monday, Wednesday class. No.
Yeah, no, your Monday, Wednesday class is definitely Monday. All right.
This is why I showed up to all the meetings that get scheduled for me. It helps me remember because I'm too busy.
The struggle is really real for me. All right. I ain't driving the struggle bus. I just got ran over and backed over and parked on. All right. Here's what you got to know, baby. With the minus like this can kind of cause confusion for people. We got to treat that as a -1. So if you ever don't see a number in front of the parentheses, treat that as a -1. Okay? So if there's a parenthesis, there must be a number in front of it. I cannot stress that enough. If there's a parenthesis or a bracket or a brace or whatever else we may use, a tire, you know, a light pole, whatever it is, there must be a number in front. And if one is not in front, that number should be assumed to be 1. Okay? So now we distribute this minus 1 to both pieces. So we got 3 minus 4 minus 2x plus 5x equals 6, 2x minus 1 minus 11x. Now, some of you are really talented, right? You can distribute more than one thing at a time. If you do, that's great. Just don't screw it up. All right? 8, 3 minus 4 is negative 1. Bless you. Negative 2x plus 5x is 3x. Equals 6, 2x minus 1 minus 11x. Negative 8 plus 24x equals 12x minus 6 minus 11x. We good? Now, from there, negative 8 plus 24x is good. We're going to leave it alone. 12x minus 11x is 1x. 1x minus 6, right? We got subtract 1x, subtract 1x. I always move the smaller x to the bigger one. It's just my personal preference. You don't have to. It is what I tend to do. Some people will always move the x from the right side to the left side because they like to see the x on the left side. I prefer to get a positive number more than I care what side the x is on. Okay? That's a small detail at the end that we can fix if we have to. That's an 8. So 23x equals 2. Divided by 23, divided by 23, we get a final answer of 2 over 23. Okay. We good?
Yep.
We good, babe? All right. So that's number 1. All right. Did you get it right?
I didn't subtract by 1x. I added 1x because I got the negatives.
Did you have a negative here for the negative 1x, or did you just add the 1x to the other side?
I have the negative for the 1x.
Okay. Yeah. Make sure you remember that sign of the bigger number is the sign you take. Small mistake, but it costs you 5 points usually. Okay. All right. Now we deal with the fraction. How many of you have seen the movie Lone Survivor? You've seen it? You've seen it?
Is it a cowboy movie?
No. It's a military movie.
Yes.
Okay.
And it starts off with 4 people in the woods in the middle of this huge military fight. Right? And then you're thinking to yourself, wow, I wonder if they're going to survive. And then you realize, spoiler alert,
What's first?
one survives.
Right.
Right? Hey, spoiler alert, you're going to see fractions on the test. Okay? Like, spoiler, I'm just going to let you know how the end of the movie plays out. You get down there and then you go like this. Holy crap, there's a fraction. Now, some of you will go like this. You know what? I don't do fractions. It's against my religion. Okay? Well, whoever you serve is trying to get you to fail. So let's come up with a strategy. If you add 1/6, and that's a totally fine thing to do, it does require that you add fractions, and that's going to create somewhat of an issue for you possibly. Okay? What I would prefer to see you do, find the common denominator. Hey, what was your name again, man?
Christian.
Christian. It's great seeing you, Christian. Thanks for coming. Find a common denominator and let's multiply through by that to get rid of that fraction. Your common denominator in this case is 30. So we're going to go 30, 30, 30. 5 goes into 36 times. Remember, we're going to divide first, multiply second. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 goes into 35 times. 5 times 1 is 5. 4 times 30 is 120. Now, very important that you got to multiply that 30 times to 4. Hey, which class you in, Christian?
Monday and Wednesday.
Okay, yeah, which one?
College algebra?
Okay, this is you, baby, right here.
Alright.
All right, so I'm gonna work these real quick. I mean, moment's notice, I'm coming over there. All right, so multiply the 4 by the 30, even though it's not a fraction as you would think, still gotta multiply that 4 by the 30 as well. Add 5, add 5. That's a very glorified 5 right there. 18x equals 125. Divide by 18, divide by 18. X equals 125 over 18 is not going to reduce. 125 is 5 times 5 times 5, and that doesn't go into 18. Okay, we good?
Yep.
We good? We good? Anybody watching online? Or you can tell?
No.
Great. Thank you for joining us.
Have you been pushing it?
I don't know. Let me ask. Have I been pushed to come into this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
in
mean,
online.
we're here.
Have I said it was going to be streamed online?
Yes.
Yeah.
You said you gotta get that new 4K camera, right?
No, I said Brantley was going to bring that. My chief technology officer.
I think everybody's waiting for the camera to come. That's what it
Okay.
is. Sorry, bro.
It's on its way.
Yeah. Next time I put in a relatively large order on Amazon, oh, I can't say there's stuff getting published online. Never mind.
Yeah. That's what I figured what was happening.
But I can't just do it like that. I need to bundle it. I'm like Spectrum. I need to bundle. I need to bundle and save. You know what I'm saying?
That's the only way you can save a spectrum.
You ain't saving nothing with them. Not even to save is a bunch of anxiety. We're going to multiply through by 100. That will clear the decimal. Okay, very important. We're taking the decimal that has the most places in it. Okay, so don't, because like if we have 0.256x plus 0.19 equals 0.4, we got to multiply through by 1,000 in order to get rid of this decimal. Right? Tens, hundreds, thousands. So you choose the one that's the biggest. Whichever one has the most decimals in it, that's the one you look at to clear the decimal out. Okay? (18x minus 20, x minus 3 equals 19x plus 113. Do we agree? Multiplying through by 100 there. We good, baby? All right. So now we gotta go bingo right there. 18x minus 20x plus 60 equals 19x plus 113. Doing a little bit of combining like terms here. 18 minus 20 is negative 2x plus 60 equals 19x plus 113. Now again, this is personal choice. I choose to move the 2x over. We're going to add 2x. We're going to add 2x. 60 equals to 21x plus 113. We'll subtract the 113. We'll subtract the 113. We'll get negative 53 equals 21x. We'll divide by 21. We'll divide by 21. We'll get x equals negative 53 over 21. And that is your final answer. We good there?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, let's jump ahead, right? Who was it? Crisscross. Let's jump around, jump around, jump around. I think that was crisscross, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Come on, Ryan. Was it crisscross, Bailey? All right.
House of Pain.
Huh?
House of Pain.
That was the album?
Yeah.
I didn't know the album, but I do know it was crisscross. And I think they only had one hit. Like, let's just be honest. They were like the Who Let the Dogs Out guys. Like, everybody knew them at one point, and then everyone forgets. All right. So now let's jump up to writing the equation. Could be a whole series of problems involving write the equation given certain characteristics. So I want to look at all of those possibilities right now. We good?
Yeah.
You good on time? Okay. Remember, if you want another donut, feel free. So let's go here. Write the equation through 5, 4 with slope -2. Write the equation through 2 negative, very bad handwriting right there, 2 -3 and 6 7. Okay? Write the equation through 4 -3 with slope undefined, and write the equation through, hey baby, how are you? I knew I should have built it and they will come.
What's she in?
She's in statistics.
Oh.
Aren't you statistics, baby? All right, we're gonna have to figure out, we're gonna have to, we might have to, I don't know what we're gonna have to do, but we're gonna put you somewhere. Write the equation through, -3, -12, -3, -12, slope, just kidding, not gonna give you the slope this time, just gonna say it's horizontal. Okay? Have some fun with that. All right. So as we look at college algebra and we start to get ready for the test, we're right here. As we get ready for the test, we're right here. Is this a function? The answer is yes. It is a function. It passes the vertical line test. Okay. So we know it's a function if we draw vertical lines and all vertical lines hit in one spot. Okay. So is it a function? Yes, it is. What is the domain? What is the domain? The domain we read from left to right. So we start from the left side, we read it to the right side. What we're looking for is jumps in the graph. Is there any spot where the graph stops and then jumps further to the right than where you're currently at? And in this case, it doesn't stop anywhere. Now, some people will say, well, it stops here. No, it doesn't. It passes through. Okay? That's just like if you've ever been on mass transit. Anybody ever been on a mass transit? Like a speed train?
Yeah.
Atlanta has them. They call it MARTA. Okay. Milwaukee had it too.
Don't like Disney have it?
Yeah, Disney has it. They have the monorail. So it's just a stop. It's not you're getting off. You're just stopping for a second, and then you're moving on. And by a second, I mean not at all. Okay, but you get the visual. Okay. Domain is -infinity to infinity because it goes from left to right and includes every value in the middle. Range, we read from bottom to top. All right, we read it from bottom to top. Channel your innermost Drake. All right, you start from the bottom and then you're here. 1 to infinity. 1 to infinity. Okay. All right. Now, can we see the other side, Brantley? Yeah, we good. When is f of x greater than g of x? F of x above g of x. F of x is above g of x on this side of the line. On this side of the line. We're writing the x value, not the y value. We're writing the x value. -2 to infinity. When is g of x greater than or equal to f of x? G of x is greater than or equal to f of x. This is g of x here. This is f of x here. When is g of x above f of x? That would be -infinity to -2. Now, notice that with the equal to, the only difference, Christian, is we put a bracket. We put a bracket. Okay? When is f of x minus g of x equal to 0? That occurs at x equals -2. Okay. We good? Spoiler alert, you'll see both of those. Okay, Monday, Wednesday group, you'll see both of those. They're on there. This is a standard test question. I've had it on every test I've ever given in college algebra, pretty much ever. Okay, so get ready for that. Also get ready to solve equations and inequalities. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look, Nazi. -6 less than or equal to -3x minus 5 over 7, which is less than, I don't know, let's say 14. So let's solve that. Let us also solve this, 0.134x minus 2.561. You know what? Just kidding. I don't want to be a jerk the first day. 0.19x minus 0.23x minus 4 less than or equal to 1.16 times x plus 2. Camille, on the 8th day, God created this and he said it was good. That was the 8th day. On the 9th and 10th day, he rested after that. Very difficult day for this. And then, because you showed up on a Friday, we're going to go Friday special right here. This is a special Friday problem. Haven't seen it before, ever. Never seen it before. -4 is 0. Oh yeah. Give you this point right here, 0, -1. Tell you that this is the graph of h of x. Yeah, Friday special, h of x. Let's go h of x equals 0. Let's go h of x greater than 0. Let's go h of x less than or equal to 0. Friday special right there. Now, Ashley, for you, because you represent all the statistics. Only one, baby. Only one. And I was always writing problems up. But then I was like, ain't nobody here. It's kind of like that whole tree in the forest thing, you know what I'm saying? But you're here now. So we're going to make this happen right here. There we go. Ashley, if you get all of these correct, I've got a very special prize pack. Going to involve a limited edition artwork that may or may not involve some tape and some paper clips. May or may not involve that. You rather have points on the test? Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely not that. All right. Let's look at I don't know. Amount of hours people slept last night. Special shout out to my boy Brantley. Not Brantley. Brantley's in class. Bradley. Love you, Bradley. Bradley told me he was up all night last night. He didn't know if he wanted to come or not. He thought if I needed to sleep. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, buddy. But I know he's going to be watching at some point. Love you, Bradley. All right. We're going to find the mean, the median, the mode, the standard deviation. We're going to find Q1, Q3, P84. We're going to find the rank of 10. JK, the rank of 9. And we're going to find the Z-score for 6. And I'm just praying that the mean is not 6. Let's go. What do you got, Ben?
I got negative infinity to infinity.
For which one?
Domain.
Yeah?
And the range is negative infinity to infinity.
Negative infinity to infinity. Range is
Negative infinity to infinity.
negative infinity to infinity. Alright? What you got?
Negative infinity to infinity.
Yeah.
And then 0 to infinity.
Yes. What'd you put on the 0?
I put a bracket, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then that one is negative infinity to infinity and negative infinity to infinity.
Oh yeah, my bad. Little preview of what's coming up on Wednesday of next week for you guys in college algebra, and if you're on Tuesday, Thursday, a little preview of what you're going to get on Tuesday when you show up. All right. We're beginning our discussion on the 6 basic graphs. We're starting with the discussion on what's the domain and range of each of the basic graphs, which is negative infinity to infinity and negative infinity to infinity. Again, if you're Monday, Wednesday, you good, baby. You good. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna sneak behind you right there. Oh, but you will be in the video feed. If you don't want to be in the video feed, you might want to move. But it's probably too late now anyway, to be honest about the situation.
Well, let me get out of your way anyway.
I appreciate you, Christian. If you know anybody looking for an executive, I highly recommend Christian. If you need that letter of recommendation, Christian, you talk to me, all right? I got you back, baby. Hey, domain and range, go.
Bracket 0 infinity.
Bracket 0 to infinity. All right.
And then bracket 0 to infinity range.
Next one.
Negative infinity to infinity.
Negative infinity to infinity.
And then bracket 0 to infinity.
Like it. Bracket. Next one.
The last one, negative infinity to infinity.
All right.
And negative infinity to infinity.
Perfect. Now, as we start this discussion, I don't know how much of it showed up on the thing, but we did all 6. Our next discussion is going to involve increasing and decreasing, and what does that mean? Okay? Just so that we're straight, we're all speaking the same language. When I talk about increase and decrease, I'm talking about from left to right. So from left to right, it's kind of like when you're driving down the road and somebody says turn right into Wendy's. Well, it makes a difference which way you're going, because Wendy's might be on the right or the left depending on which way you're going. We have to understand that we're all talking the same language. From left to right is what we're talking about. Hey Ryan, when you get done over there, my man back there needs some help. Champion guy. All right. So we're not talking about increase and decrease, I'm talking about from left to right. So from left to right is the graph going up or down. This one's going up. So in that case, I would say that it's increasing from negative infinity to infinity, and I would say it's decreasing never. Okay? I would say it's increasing from negative infinity to infinity, it's decreasing never. Brantley, can you see all 6 graphs?
Fine.
If I move it just a little bit, is that 6? So for this one, we say it's increasing from negative infinity to infinity, and this one is decreasing never. Okay? For this one, where is it increasing from? Now, increasing means going up, decreasing means going down, right? So what happens is, if you go sit your little butt right here, and you just sit down, it looks like you're going up on both sides, right? You're in the middle of a cave, and you're like, oh, it's up on both sides. But we're not just sitting down. We're starting from the left and reading the graph. So if I start from the left, will I be going up or down? You're going down. And so at that point, you would say you're decreasing from negative infinity to 0. I'm going to put a parenthesis on the 0 because I don't like including 0 for reasons we'll go over in class. Okay? When's it increasing? It's increasing from 0 to infinity. Okay, it's increasing from 0 to infinity. So what we want you to do now is see if you can do the last 4. See if you can do the last 4. Now, the other thing I'm going to give you is a little surprise treat. This is kind of like that after dinner milkshake that you didn't know you were going to get. We're going to erase this one. We're going to give you a Friday special. We're going to call this point -4, 2. We're gonna call this point -4, -2. We're gonna call this 3, -2. We're gonna call this 3, 1. Okay? I want these answers. Can you see this, Brantley? Is this a function? What's the domain? What's the range? When's it increasing? When's it decreasing? When's it constant? And then people watching this at home can't read my handwriting, I apologize. Increasing, decreasing, constant. Okay? Question. We're gonna make this the bonus question. So we got a Friday special with a bonus question embedded. This is the best day of your life right here. Bonus question. What's the y-intercept? Drop the mic. All right. That moment when you realize if you walk in front of it, objects in the camera will appear bigger than they are. You'll understand, but so you walk behind it like this, and look, voila, problem solved, crisis averted. All right, we ready? We ready, baby? All right, let's do this. Brantley, we center. We ready to roll?
Yep, we're good.
All right. Now, got two ways to do this. You okay, honey?
Yeah.
You got a look of stress on your face.
No.
You're here on Friday. Let's don't be stressed. Let's alleviate stress. What's wrong? Do you have a hard time with it?
No.
Okay. Have another donut. That makes everything better. You got two ways to do this. Now, and I don't want to tell you how to do it, okay? One way is kind of the way I do it. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1, and we're plugging in pieces as we have them. We're solving for y and we get an answer, okay? The other way is kind of just memorize this one formula, right? Plug in your m, plug in your x and your y, and then go back and solve for b. Does that make sense? I was tutoring a kid last night. Okay, I was up here late yesterday. Tutoring a kid, I said to him, this is kind of the way I do it. This is the way you can do it. And he goes, I like the other way better, no offense. Bottom line is this, if you have a way that gets you to the right answer, I'm not trying to change that. Please know that if you have a way that gets you to the right answer, I'm not trying to change that. Okay? I mean, there are a lot of ways to shoot a jump shot. Okay? I teach the textbook correct way. But, you know, if you want to flip it behind your head and sling it off the back of your foot, you know what? If it goes in, I think I'll leave it alone. All right? If you start missing it, then I want you to change. And that's really the bottom line. If you want to do it this way, do it this way. But if you start missing it, change it. If you're doing it this way and you're missing it, change it. Okay? Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. The reason I like this is there's no back substituting after you get done. Once you're done, you're done. What up, Ty? Once you're done, you're done. So now we distribute. Do keep in mind that if this were a fraction, I would want to clear the fraction off to the other side. Okay? So y minus 4 equals negative 2x plus 10. We add 4, and that gives us our final result of y equals negative 2x plus 14. Okay? Now, if you did it the other way, what would that way look like? Y equals negative 2x plus b. Then you're just plugging in the x and y values that you have. You're plugging in x is 5. You're plugging in the y value is 4. You're solving for b. You're adding 10, you're getting b equals 14. Once you figure out what b is, all you got to do is go back and substitute it back, and that will give you your final equation of negative 2x plus 14. Okay? Again, not here trying to sell you ice. Okay, it's easily made. What I'm trying to do is to tell you that there's two ways to do it, both of which get you to the exact same way. Okay? Use whichever way you want to. Which way do you do it?
The y minus y1.
Okay, which way do you do it, baby?
Y minus y1.
Okay. All right. For those of you watching at home, which currently right now is 0, am I still on 0? It's okay. Those of you joining us with the show already in progress, choose the way you want to do it. You're not here, love you, but we're going to do y minus y1 for the rest of the time. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. This one, got to find the slope. How do you find the slope?
Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
7 minus negative 3 over 6 minus 2, yeah? So we got 10 over 4. Remember, negative and negative become positive. We can reduce that to 5/2. Now, the question comes up, which point do we choose? Which point do we choose? Do we choose this one or do we choose this one?
I choose the first one because it's the y1 and x1.
So the answer is it doesn't matter. Okay, the answer is it doesn't matter. For me, it's kind of like being at the Embassy Suites when they have the biscuits out. I always choose one in the middle because I feel like that one's going to be the fresh one of the group. Don't take the one on top, Todd. That one's always stale. All right. I would choose this one personally. And the only reason why, first of all, if there's one that has a 0, I choose that one first. 0 takes immediate priority for me because multiplication becomes easy. Anytime I have a choice between positive numbers and negative numbers, I always choose positive just because I don't want to mess up the sign anyway. Okay? So that's my personal opinion. If you choose the first one because it's x1, y1, well, then that's great too. Because at the end of the day, y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. Now, I will multiply both sides by 2. My son will circle the 2 and move it over here. Okay? Ultimately, we both get to the same spot. Okay? I multiply both sides by 2 and it cancels, and that's what happens. He likes to distribute the 2 to the other side, claiming it's the same thing. I guess on some level we're both right, except I'm more right. 2y minus 14 equals 5x minus 30. Now, here's the thing. If you had multiplied the 5/2 by the 6, you're going to get 15, and it's not that big of a deal because the 2 goes into 6 nicely, and you're going to get 15, and life's going to go on, and yay, why don't you just distribute? The reason why I didn't distribute is that sometimes you got to know who your audience is, and the audience, by and large, doesn't like fractions too much. Okay? Not saying necessarily you two, but the audience that I'm dealing with generally doesn't like fractions. And so, if it doesn't cancel nicely, then they just quit. Like, well, I tried. You didn't make it cancel nicely, so you don't love me. I do love you, and I want you to expand your horizons. Try asparagus. Divide by 14, or add 14. 2y equals 5x minus 16. Divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. Gives you a final result of y equals 5/2 x minus 8. And that would be your final answer. Okay, we good? We good?
Yep.
All right. Now, here's the deal with these two. These are just look at it and write it down. If you know the answer, you look at it, write it down. If you don't know the answer, you look at it, you stare at it all day. You know, test is at whatever time it is, 9 o'clock, 10:30. You'll be there until 2 o'clock, going like this. Still don't know. Okay? It is a matter of, do you know what undefined means? What lines are undefined? If the slope is undefined, what line is that?
Vertical.
I ain't ever doing it again. Camille, you're a Florida State fan?
My mom is.
Oh, is she? Bless her
I don't really
heart.
like to hear about
Bless her
football.
heart. Your dad's a...
Gator.
Yeah, I think I like your dad better. All right. I'm sure your mom's a nice person. She's got bad judgment. All right. X equals 4. Which one are you? I feel like you got to root for one of the two because your parents, kind of divided house there.
I don't really watch football.
And you don't even care about the whole thing
I
anyway.
honestly don't care. I used to be a Seminole.
Okay. I did too, and then I went to Florida, and then I became a Gator, and I've never changed after that. I was a Seminole Browns my whole life though. All right, X equals 4. That's the answer. Show your work. X equals 4. That's the work. You just look at it and write it down. Horizontal. Y equals -12. Now with that one, you actually could say the slope is 0, and then go through the whole process of y minus y1 equals 0, x minus. The problem is that if it's undefined, you can't do that. Although my son would tell you you can, because he would say, if it's undefined, it's y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. And the way he does it, he moves this over and he can get rid of the whole damn side. Add 4, and you go, yeah, see, works perfect. X equals 4.
I've got to admit, that's how I help people see it sometimes. I know it's not the way that it works.
Yeah, no,
but
not.
I see it.
You're officially fired.
Dang.
He's like, I'm volunteering, please fire me. I have a lot of volunteer jobs I wish they would fire me from. You know what I mean? Like, that mess up. You may quit. No, you're fine. Keep coming. But no, that is a way to do it if you had to see work, which isn't actually right at all on any level, but it actually does get you to the right answer. Okay. So, are we good on that? Can we move on to something else, or do we need to see a little bit more of that? You sure? Speak up. I mean, this is y'all's session.
I'm good. If you need more, that's fine.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Because on some level, I don't believe you. It's kind of like me asking you what you want for Christmas when I know what I'm going to buy you anyway. It's just a courtesy. Like, oh my gosh, why did you buy me this? I said I wanted a deep fryer. Well, I thought you wanted a TV instead. Hey, let's go here. Let's write the equation. Perpendicular to 3x minus 4y equals 12. Passing through -5, 6. Okay? Then let's find the slope, the x-intercept, and the y-intercept for y equals 5/9 x plus 2. 3x minus 7y equals 28. X equals 9. 2y plus 7 equals 12. Go. All right, college algebra. Here we go. Maybe I should move this again. I need a gyroscope. Brandon, whichever one we buy has to move with me.
You gotta get the remote.
Oh, can we get a? All right, so we need a remote.
They sell a little tracking device that you wear, and it's a gimbal, and it moves with you.
Well, how much is that?
It's like $500.
I thought you were gonna say $5 at first. I was like,
Dude, $5, I was all in. Amazon buy now.
Give me one.
Won't even have to wait for the extra little package to come through. Yeah, that'd definitely be a buy now right there. Hey, let's multiply through by 7. We can clear this fraction. We get -42 less than or equal to -3x minus 5, which is less than, is that 98? Yes. And that really was just a courtesy as well. Adding 5, adding 5, adding 5. -37 less than or equal to -3x less than 103. We're dividing by -3. We're dividing by -3. We're dividing by -3. What happens when you divide by a negative?
Change the sign.
Gotta change that inequality. Very good. So we got greater than or equal to 37 over 3 over here, which is x, which is greater than negative 103 over 3, yeah? If you want to convert those to decimals, that's 12.3333, and looks like 34.33333, negative. But you must write the answer in interval notation. You must write the answer in interval notation. Christian, gotta be. Now, when you do that, don't write the way you see it. Don't write the way you see it, because if you do, I'll fix it for you to the tune of 6 points. Okay? What you have to write it as, interval notation always has smallest number first. Important as we start talking about increasing, decreasing. As we talk about domain and range, smallest number must come first. It's always. Anyone who tells you different, run the other way, yell stranger danger. Okay? Very, 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 very bad person who tells you that. Got to put a bracket on the 37 thirds, parenthesis on the negative 103 over 3. Okay? For right now, the equal to means bracket, greater than, less than means parenthesis, Ellie, right? Later on this semester, I'm going to change that up, and it's going to mean different things. But for today, if you buy right now, equal to is going to get a bracket. Greater than, less than will get a parenthesis. And again, that's going to change when we get to chapter 4. Okay, so do know that change is coming, right? But for right now, that's all you need. You just need that one part there. Okay? We good? Can I erase? Anybody need to take a picture? Take a picture, it lasts longer. We good? All right. 0.19x minus 0.23. Brantley, am I okay if I write it here?
Yes, you're fine.
Less than or equal to 1.16 x minus 2. All right. We're going to multiply through by 100. We're going to clear this decimal. Now remember, on the test, you do get to use a TI-30X calculator. You do get to use the small graphing, or this, not graphing. You do get to use the little small calculators. Can I borrow that? Similar to this. Okay? This is the one you're able to use. It's a little smaller. Pretty much your calculator's got to be solar powered. General rule. Certain Casios are not allowed, but this one certainly is. Okay. I do have some calculators available on test day, but those are on a first come, first served basis, and most importantly, they are not guaranteed to be available. It's just if I get to the little calculator area and there's some left, then I get to grab them. If I get to the calculator area and somebody has taken them, then I don't have any. Does that make sense? So please, if you do not have one, those little smaller scientific calculators at Walmart are probably $12, $14, I would think. I don't know how much they are. Hey, Brandon, hit me up on Amazon for a TI-30X. See how much it is. Because if it's on Amazon, I think Best Buy will match the price for sure. And I think Walmart might as well. They got to be around $15 or so. They're not very expensive, I wouldn't think.
11 last time I bought one.
Oh, was it? So $11. They're not terribly expensive. If $11 is more than you can handle, talk to me. All right. I know a guy. 19x minus 23x, and I'm not being condescending when I say that. There was a time in my life $11 was like $400.
Yeah, it's $11.
Plus 92 is less than or equal to 116 x minus 2. Yes, they're $11. Like I say, If you don't have one and you can't get one because you can't afford it, I understand it completely. Eat first, for sure. Talk to me about it and we'll figure it out. Negative 4x plus 92 is less than or equal to 116 x minus, whoa, who wrote that problem up? Is that 232?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody didn't like you too much on that one. Now, again, I use the smaller number to the bigger number, and doing so, this really puts people uncomfortable. You know, like this is, you're in China and nobody speaks English, uncomfortable. Ni hao. Xixi. Wow, I was a Chinese master when I left there. What is this? Ooh, you don't know what food this is. Okay, I'm not eating it. 324? We're divided by 120. We're divided by 120. Y'all just sit there, I'll take care of it. 4 goes into 324, 81 times. 4 goes into 120, 30 times. 3 goes into 81, 27 times. 3 goes into 30, 10 times. Looks like the answer is 2.7. Okay. Maybe I did that wrong, I don't know. Did y'all get 27 over 10?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, now, interval notation. This is less than or equal to x, so that means x is greater than or equal to 27 over 10, which is 2.7 to infinity, or 27 over 10 to infinity. Okay. We good? Now, when is h of x equal to 0? H of x is equal to 0 at negative 4. H of x is equal to 0 at negative 4. H of 0 is negative 1. But h of x equals 0 is, that's what we call the 0 of the function. It's called the x-intercept. Let me say that again. It is called the 0 of the function, and it is referred to as the x-intercept. Or maybe the other way around, the x-intercept is referred to as the 0 of the function. Okay? When's h of x greater than 0? When's it above 0? That's on this side. As a reminder, this is above 0. This is below 0. Okay, so when is that? It's above 0 from negative infinity to negative 4. It's less than 0 from negative 4 to infinity. Now again, we are looking at the x values there, not the y values, although the y values are what we're interested in terms of above or below 0. Are you done, baby?
Yes.
We're in here. We're going to go special request for 1033. This is like Casey Kasem, baby. Let's find the slope. Let's find the slope. Negative 4, 18, and 20, 10. Or no, it's 2020, isn't it? 2020. All right. We good here? We good? Now, for those of you that have been on this board, you've seen pretty much most of the test. Okay? Let's go over distance and midpoint. Let's go over zeros, and then that should kind of take you through the whole, what we've been talking about. Is there anything that we haven't talked about other than distance and midpoint and the zeros? Okay, great. Are you in class with Philip? The Polish guy?
The what guy?
Philip.
I don't think so.
Oh, I am. Philip.
It's behind me.
I went and saw him last night.
Really?
Yeah, you remember I said if I didn't have anything to do, I'd go? Well, I didn't have anything to do. I mean, it wasn't like that. Like, I mean, if I can tutor and make money, then I'm going to tutor and make money. I'm not going to go watch a basketball game. He's actually pretty decent. Their team beat the hell out of him, I can tell you that. I don't know what the score was, but it was a whole lot to a little bit. So they're pretty good. Mr. Phillip, if you're watching that at home. Is he watching, Brantley? Okay. Let's go 8, -1. Let's go 15, no. Let's go 15, 2. Let's find the distance. Let's find the midpoint. Let's say Q equals -412. Let's say M equals 2020. This is the midpoint of P and Q. All right. And that's the midpoint. Let's find P. Let's also say f of x equals 18 fifths x minus 41. We're heavy lifting today. 18x over 5 minus 41. Let us find the 0, please. All right. Ashley, are we ready? Do you have a calculator, baby? I was going to say, if you don't have a calculator, you've been sitting there the whole time and ain't got too far. You got the mean. You got the mean, and that's about it. So if we add all these up, wait. I'm telling you, I need that $500 gyroscope. If any of y'all want to, support the process, maybe you got a rich uncle. All right. How we doing there? Oh yeah, we on point right there. If we add all these together, I don't know what you get, but it's 13, 15, 24, 37, 45, 52, 58, 62, 70. So we got 70 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bingo. Mean is 7?
Yes.
Nice. Median. It's the value that occurs in the middle. Now, remember with 10 numbers, there's going to be 2 numbers in the middle. We have to add them together and divide by 2, right? Or we just have to look at the calculator and get it what it tells us.
Right.
Is that what you did?
It was like,
No, I don't want to hear it was like.
it was 7 and 8, so I know.
So 7.5.
Yeah.
I mean, can I trust you? Because there's going to be people watching this later and be like, how did he get 7.5?
The
No?
calculator said it too, I verified my answer.
Oh, you did? All right, Ashley said it. I ain't taking credit for that. The mode is 8. Standard deviation will be SX on your calculator. It is SX. It is not sigma X. You can get rid of that number. But you can't get rid of it because it shows up every time. What's SX?
3.02.
3.02. Now let's interpret those real quick. Mean number of hours people slept last night was 7 hours. Average amount of time that people slept last night was 7 hours. Median, 7.5. 50% of the people slept more than 7.5. 50% slept less than 7.5. All right, for those of you in college algebra who are going to take me for statistics, you can pay attention if you're done, because you're going to see it next term or whenever you take it again. Mode, it is the value that occurs most often. That is 8. The most frequently cited number of hours people slept was 8 hours. Again, not saying most people slept 8 hours, because most of them did not sleep 8 hours. Okay? So it was simply just the most frequently cited number. Standard deviation. Standard deviation is 3.02. What that says is that on average, the amount of time that people slept last night deviated by 3.02 hours from the mean. Okay? It's from the mean, yes. Okay. Now, Q1 is the first quartile. Keep in mind that data can be broken up into different regions, different groups. We use quartiles, percentiles, deciles. Deciles are by 10. The first quartile is the 25th percentile. Okay, they mean the same thing. And the 25th percentile in this case is what? 5. That's a calculator question. So that's 5 based on the calculator response. Q3 is 8, and that's based on the calculator as well. Perfect. P84, walk me through the thought process.
So you made 84 a percent?
Yep, take 84, make it a percentage, so that's 84%.
Yeah.
Convert that to a decimal, right?
Yeah.
And do what with it?
Um,
So we got 0.84,
multiply by 10.
multiply that by the number of data points.
Yeah.
So it's 0.84 times the number of data points. 0.84 times 10, 8.4. Okay?
And then that tells you to take the 8th. Wait,
Tells you to take which one?
hold on. I got my answer, but I didn't write down. Oh yeah, take the 8th value.
Not the 8th one, baby. Public's rule. Remember the public's rule?
9th value.
9th value, we always round up. If there's any decimal, we always round up. Now, if it were 8, that would take you between the 8th and the 9th value. If it were solely 8, if it came out, bam, 8, then you'd do the 8th and 9th value. If you get a decimal, you round up always and just count to that place. Okay? So we're going to round this up to 9. And what's the 9th place in the data set? You got to be, is it really? Tamo. Then a miracle occurred. This number and that number are not ever the same on test day. Because if it were, I would have no way of knowing whether you actually understood what you were doing or not. I got to make them different so I know if you know what you're doing or not. Okay? In cases like this, this is very, very loose here. And then for the rank of 9, this is lovely. We just said it was 84%, but it's probably not 84% when we get done with it. So, what is the rank of 9?
It was 0.8.
0.8? Okay. It's the number of data points that are less than 9, which is 8 divided by 10.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you, Camille. You got the answers, baby? Camille, did you get the answers?
I got some.
Well, do you need to get the rest of them?
I just finished them, so.
Oh, yeah, you better get there. Who's your teacher?
That way.
Is it collegiate? Okay. Love you, baby. Take care.
So we should make that a percent, don't leave it as a decimal?
No, ma'am. Make it a percentage.
Okay.
If you left it as a decimal for you, I give you credit.
Real talk?
Real talk. Brantley, not so much. I never liked Brantley too much. He always sat on the computer the whole time. It was very, very intimidating, actually.
I still have all my notes from last week. I hope you know.
I'm quite certain you do. They're saved in a file
They're
called
all
Never
in the
Look At.
Google Docs.
What's that?
They're all in the Google Docs.
I'm sure they are. What was the title of them?
Like,
Discard immediately, right? Discard as of 12/31/2019. All right, so no, seriously, no, I give you credit because I mean, if you're showing that you understand it, if you left it as a decimal, I totally give you credit for that. All right, what's the z-score?
It was,
6 minus 7 divided by 3.02. Yeah.
yeah,
Don't know what you get.
I got negative 0.33.
You're close to that. I thought it was going to be a little smaller or a little less than that, but I was going to say negative 0.32, so we're close enough. All right. Let's interpret those 5.
I don't know.
Okay. So to interpret Q1, 25% of the people reported they slept less than 5 hours. 25% of the people reported they slept less than 5. 75% of the people slept less than 8.
So, okay, hold
Yeah, go ahead, take your time.
on. Q1 is 25% always,
Yes,
and Q3 is 75%.
yes. Those are quarters,
Okay.
right? Don't be like my little basketball girl. Game over yet, coach? No, this is the first quarter. How many quarters we play, coach?
Okay.
And then second quarter. Game over yet, coach? No, not yet. Second quarter. How many quarters we play, coach? 4 quarters, right? 25, 50. 25, 50 would be Q2, which would be the median, yeah? That was a really long line to get to the median. Q3 is 75%. All right. Bill Cosby right there. All right. So yeah, Q1, Q3 are always 25, 75. Okay. P84 is the 84th percentile. So 84% of the people reported sleeping less than 9 hours. Okay. Again, because we have such a small data set here, actually the interpretation gets a little bit screwed up. Okay, but the idea is the same, because the idea on the small data set is the same as the idea on the big data set. I just don't want to give you a big data set, I think it's a waste of time. Okay?
Are we gonna have a big data set on the?
No. It's going to be all like what you've seen. Okay? I don't want to type it all out, and the next day I don't want to have to find it myself, so we good. Rank of 9, 80%. 80% of the people reported sleeping less than 9 hours. Okay? Someone who sleeps 6 hours is 0.33 standard deviations below the mean. Someone who sleeps 6 hours is 0.33 standard deviations below the mean. Okay. Were you here Wednesday for pizza problems, Ashley? No. Okay. Good. So I can ask you the next set of problems and not feel guilty about repeating it. We good?
Yeah.
Can I erase this?
Yeah.
All right. To the best that you can without looking at your notes, okay? And then if you need to look at your notes, you can look at your notes, but try to do it without it, okay? For problems 1 through 4, according to the empirical rule, which I'm going to abbreviate ER, okay, which I'm going to abbreviate ER. According to the empirical rule, what percent of data is within 1 standard deviation, 2 standard deviations, 3 standard deviations, 4 standard deviations? Those are your first 4. And 5 through 8, according to Chebyshev's theorem.
So I wasn't here on Tuesday when we went over that.
Oh shit, then you just don't have to research it then.
I mean, I got my neighbor's note, but.
Oh, you weren't here when we talked about it? Okay. Well, then I'll just have to tell you what it is, but hold on, I gotta get to these other guys.
There's a video.
Apparently would like to point out that there's a video. There is a video for the empirical rule, Chebyshev's theorem. Brantley, is that something you can post in the comment section right there? Will you take care of that for me? Sure. So the empirical rule, Chebyshev's theorem. Also post a link for the definitions and post a link for the test 1 review. Test 1 review, for those of you that don't know, is online. It's on campus.
On Canvas?
Yes. Your boy hooked that up yesterday. Took a little research, had to Google that. All right.
Is it the same review as on YouTube?
Yeah, but the actual sheet that you can print is on Canvas, so you can print it, try it yourself, and then watch the video. Have you already watched the video for test 1 review? Okay. The video for that's also on Canvas as well. You don't have to go to YouTube, it's on Canvas. All right. So anyway, we good? Yeah, all right. I got to get over here. My man, what was your name again? Schneider. My man Schneider is on the spot right here. Hey, Schneider, real quick, increase and decrease. Oh, shoot. I like to point out. Very good today. Right or no?
Yeah.
Hey, Ellie. All right, Brantley, we seeing that? Hey, listen to me. There's a, not sure what that one is right there, but I'm sure that there's a creamy filling inside of that.
I'll take it.
And then there's, y'all are sleeping on the apple fritter. The apple fritter is the best one they
That was
got.
pretty good.
What do you have Publix's?
If you put Publix and Bacon Donuts Plus in the same sentence again, I'll find a new chief technology officer. Although that puzzles are pretty good too. If you microwave it, it's even better.
I used to work in a bakery.
Problem is, y'all don't even bake your own stuff. Y'all just get it brought in.
We bake it all. It's made at our fresh warehouse. And
It's made in at the fresh, it's made at the Fresh Out warehouse, and then they bake it themselves. You're slightly better than Dunkin' Donuts right there, Brandon. Because Dunkin' Donuts, they make theirs at their fresh warehouse too, but that place is in Boston. And then they UPS it in and sit out overnight and go like this, all right, we're good, place those up. All right, increasing, decreasing. Schneider, we've gone out of control here, man. It's increasing from negative infinity to infinity. And it is decreasing never. Okay? Increasing from 0 to infinity, decreasing never. Increasing from 0 to infinity, decreasing from negative infinity to 0. We good? Increasing always, decreasing never. Potato, potato, right? We good? All right. Now, this is the one you got up this morning for. You didn't know it, but this is what God envisioned for you when you woke up today.
Right.
Is it a function?
It's a function.
Are you sure?
Sure.
How do you know?
At first, I was a little shocked because of the negative 4 and 4 on the negative 4 on the bottom. But then I asked for help.
Oh,
And
so
then
that's
like-
how you know for sure.
And then he said 0 because like it's not in the grid, like it's not on it. It's just like near it, so it's never actually touching the same x-axis point, so it makes it a point.
You see, if both of these are closed circles, it's not a function.
That's what got me.
Okay? But if one of them is open, it's up to but not including. Okay? I got a great story about a trip to Niagara Falls I'm going to tell you all during class. All right? But I want to tell you now because you have to hear it twice. It's not nearly as good the second time. That's why you don't want to take the course twice because the stories never change. All right? But anyway, not including negative 4 here, or not including 3 here. So because of that, this is in fact a function. So the answer is, yes it is. What is the domain? What is the domain?
The domain is negative infinity is 4, the union is 3 infinity.
The domain is negative infinity to infinity. You see, and this is where it gets hard. Your negative infinity is negative 4,
Right.
and then it jumps. Okay? But notice you're jumping at the same station, right? You're just boarding another train, right? But you're not teleporting. You're not moving ahead in time. You're just going from the same spot to another spot, which is exactly the same spot. So now you're going on this train. So you're going from negative 4 to 3, right? So theoretically, you've been from negative infinity all the way up to 3 now, right? Well, now you're jumping on another train. Again, you're not teleporting, right? You're not jumping from this train to a train that's located over here somewhere.
Right.
You're just going on the same station. 3 to infinity.
Okay.
So theoretically, by the time you've ridden all 3 trains, you've gone from negative infinity to infinity and you've hit everything in the middle. Okay? Where you'll see it, and you're going to see it next week, and then you're going to look smart as heck. All right? Where you see it is if I give you something like this, where I say this is negative 4, 2. This is negative 3, negative 2. Now, notice here, you haven't jumped trains at the same station. You actually had to move to a whole new station.
Right.
Does that make sense? So there you'd be negative infinity to negative 4, union negative 3 to infinity.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So it just depends on when you jump. Do you jump in a straight line down or do you have to jump across? If you jump across, there's a space. If you jump straight down, there's no space. Okay. Range.
Range was negative infinity to 1 to 2 infinity.
Negative infinity to 1. Negative infinity to 1. And again, there, when you get to 1, your next jump, it has to go up. So you're skipping all from 1 to 2. So 2 to infinity. Now, what's interesting about this, not sure how you did it, we should have a bracket on the 2 and a parenthesis on the 1. Okay? And again, all my college algebra students, if you want to listen to this, those of you taking the test on Monday, you're going to see it on Wednesday. So it's not like, and there's nothing on the test that looks like this necessarily, so it's not going to really hurt you any to look at it. Okay? When is it increasing?
It's increasing from.
Never. Good. It's never increasing. A lot of people will look at this and they'll go, oh, but it's drier, it's going up. Well, which way do we read it?
Left to right.
Left to right, it's going down. Down, down. So it's never going up. Okay? So it's decreasing from negative infinity to negative 4. This is the only place I'll actually put that because it's an endpoint. Union 3 to infinity. Okay. It's constant from negative 4 to 3.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the y-intercept?
0 to 2.
0, negative 2.
Negative
0, negative 2. All right, 0, negative 2. All right. With that, I'm going to leave you there. All right. Now you're ready for Tuesday when we start. All right. You look like a genius. Whoa. That was close. All right, intermediate, here we go. So, as we do this, again, spoiler alert, you're going to have a problem that talks about parallel and perpendicular. Okay? If I'm lying, I'm done. All right? You're going to have a question that says parallel, perpendicular. What do we know about it? In order to do it, appreciate it, Schneider. Love you, man. Take care.
I'm going.
Have a good weekend.
Recycle.
Recycle. Well, that's trash. I throw everything in recycle bin. I'll figure it out. Negative 4y equals negative 3x plus 12. Y equals 3/4 x minus 3. Do we agree?
Yes.
Do you agree, baby? Now, with that, perpendicular means what? It's got to be
Reciprocal negative.
reciprocal plus what? Changing the sign, right? So if it's already positive, then we make it reciprocal, we got to make it a negative. And if it were negative, we do the reciprocal, we make it positive, right? So we're going to get negative 4/3 there. Okay? So we got y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. These two negatives will become positive. Sorry. My wife texted me. She takes priority over everybody. I'm going to multiply through by 3. You can circle it, move to the other side. That's a big marker eraser. 3y minus 6 equals, cancel, negative 4x plus 5. 3y minus 18 equals negative 4x minus 20. Add 18, 3y equals negative 4x minus 2. Okay? Y equals negative 4/3 x minus 2/3. Any questions on that? We good? Everybody get those right?
Yeah.
Ty, you got it? Did you get it right? What happened, baby?
I added the 20 and the 18 wrong. I got 38.
Not sure who that is. Watch those signs, baby. Watch those signs. Remember, if the signs are different, you have to subtract. Okay? All right, so I'm going to erase this. Ooh,
Well,
Don't want to lose our special request problem.
one was a negative 20.
Was it?
I think.
No.
No, sorry, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding.
No, it's okay. I mean, I've been wrong like once, you know, in my life anyway. Maybe even once today, actually. All right, so now we're finding the slope, the x-intercept, and y-intercept, right?
Yeah.
Slope is 5/9. Yeah? X-intercept. Plugging in y is 0. 5/9 times x plus 2. When you multiply through by 9, doesn't matter, I'll do it right away. 9, 9, 9. So we get 0 equals 5x plus 18. Subtract 18, subtract 18. 5x equals negative 18. Divide by 5, divide by 5, x equals negative 18 over 5, yes? If you say negative 18 over 5 or you say negative 3.6, I really don't care. Okay? Some people use a calculator. Some people write it as a fraction. It doesn't matter to me. Okay? Y-intercept, plug in x is 0, you're going to get 2. So y-intercept for a problem that's written in slope-intercept form should be pretty easy. It's always the end number. Okay? All right. Now, for this one, the slope of an equation, you got to solve for y. So negative 7y equals negative 3x plus 28. Be careful here. One of the things I see a lot of students do is when the y is negative like this, when they move the 3x over, the negative just kind of mysteriously vanishes, like Chris Angel was in the house and just like waved his hands and then it turned into a tiger or something. Okay? The negative doesn't vanish. So just because you move the 3x over doesn't mean that negative sign goes away. Now the other thing I see is people write down negative 7 here, and then when they come over here, they don't carry that negative 7 to both pieces. It's like they carry it to the first piece and then they get tired of it and just put a 7 down. Be consistent. Okay? Be consistently good. One of the things I preach to my kids about. Be consistently good. Don't do it good once in a while. Do it good consistently. Okay? Y equals 3/7 x minus 4. The slope is 3/7. The y-intercept is negative 4. That comes right off this. If I got to find the x-intercept, I plug in y is 0. 3x minus 7 times 0 equals 28. Divide by 3, divide by 3. The x-intercept is 28 over 3. We good?
Yes, I just put 7 because I wasn't thinking.
Okay. Well, it is early.
Yeah.
All right. X equals 9. Slope is undefined. We've talked about that already today. All right. X-intercept is 9. Y-intercept does not exist. We're going to put none. Do not put 0. As a reminder that 0 is a location on the graph. That is not where the x-intercept occurs. The x-intercept is, or the y-intercept is, it doesn't have one. All right? For 2y plus 7 equals 12, don't fret that the y doesn't have an x on it. Just move to the other side, solve for y, and you'll be done. 2y equals 5, y equals 5 halves. Y equals 5 halves, yes, I know it's a fraction, but it's still just a horizontal line. Horizontal lines has a 0 in horizontal. The slope is 0. The x-intercept does not exist, so we're going to call it none. The y-intercept is 5 halves. Again, if you said 2.5, I give you credit. Okay. All right. Here, define the slope between those two lines. Define the slope between these 2 points. 20 minus 18 over 20 minus negative 4. Negative and negative become positive. 2 over 24 equals 1 over 12. Okay, that's the slip between 2 points. All right. I'm going to end you all with this. Okay, very important. I want you to hear this. For those of you watching online, which is currently 0, but you're going to watch later, and I know that. For those of you watching, I want you to hear this too. The secret, especially in intermediate, to getting a good score, which I think is what you all want. Am I right? I mean, isn't that kind of the goal, like to get a good score? Like, I don't think anybody ever comes in going like this, man, well, I'm just hoping for like an 18. 35 will kind of upset me, right? Everybody's trying to get a good score. Everybody's trying to get, A or B or C. Like, and I think some people, anything less than 90 is considered, like a shame to the family. And for some people, anything C or higher is, worthy of a date at Long John Silver's or something. Not Long John Silver's. What was I thinking of? The Golden Corral. Like, I feel like Golden Corral is the place you go celebrate any great accomplishment in life. Like, what are we gonna do? Go to the Golden Corral. Maybe it's just fat people, I don't know.
You must be from here.
I've lived here a long time. The goal for you to maximize your score, and I want you to hear this, is to get the problems you know correct. When you see it and you go like this, I know this one, really bear down and get that one correct. Because your score maximizes when you get the problems you know correct, not when you get the problems you don't know correct. Let's be realistic. If you have a problem you don't know, you're probably not getting it right. And you can stress over it, and that's great. I mean, it's like a rocking chair. It'll keep you busy. At the end of the day, you won't go anywhere, but you'll stay busy with it. You're going to maximize your score by getting the problems you know. So when you see one that you know, really focus in on, hey, this is one I can get, and go get those points, because those are the points that you're going to get that's going to mean something to you. Know this. There may be a problem on the test that you look at it and you go like this. WTF. Did we go over that? It happens. It's happened to me. Heck, one time in the University of Florida, a whole page. I looked at the page, I went like this, WTF. We go over this stuff. You know what? Let me just skip this page and come back to it. When I came back to it, guess what I found out? I still didn't know it. Okay? But you know what I did do? I got all the other ones that I knew right and just said, look, I don't know these. I'm going to try them, but I really don't know them. But think how much worse it would have been if I would have focused all my attention on the ones I didn't know, then ran out of time and didn't do the ones I did know. Does that make sense? Like, that would have been a way worse outcome than it would have been just to say, you know what? Look, this is I don't know what this is. Let me go over here and do the ones I can do. So when you get to the test, find the ones you can do. If you find one you can't do, skip it. Tell yourself, he said this was going to happen. I'm telling you it's going to happen. Okay, I love y'all to death. When I give you the test, I'm not screwing around. Like, it's all fun and games until somebody pokes their eye out. Okay, I love you all a lot. But when the test comes, Ellie, tell them. I mean, I'm going to challenge you a little bit. Just a little.
I got 100 on the first test, so.
Her name is Ellie, everyone. We're going to add her on Snapchat. That's Ellie the goat. All right. Right now, there are people at home going like this. She's not on there. Do you want her phone number? 1-800-GOT-100. That's her number right there. All right. But no, seriously though, I'll challenge you to an extent that is, do you really understand what's going on? Okay, and that's for college algebra, statistics, that's for all of you. Okay? Get the ones you know correct. Okay? And if there's one or two you don't know, then guess what? You just got a 90 and you should be proud of yourself. Does that make sense? Don't get a 60 because you didn't know 2 and you spent your whole time trying to get those 2 and then you missed, 5 more. And then you're like, wow, that sucks. I thought I understood this stuff. Okay? If you understood what we did today, you're in really good shape. Relax and do you. Relax and do you. Don't stress it. Relax and do you. Okay, if you didn't understand what we did today, there's still time. But that time is running out. All right. So for intermediate, I'm going to leave you with this. Kyle Johnson, we're going to finish this up, and then I'm going to get out of here. Thank you all for coming. What was your name, baby? Oh, no. What is it? Sasha. Thank you, baby. Love you. Take care. We good? All right. Distance and midpoint. Here we go. Square root. 15 minus 8 squared plus 2 minus -1 squared. Hey, what was your name again, Chief?
Dylan.
Dylan. Love you, Dylan. Take care. Thanks for coming. We got 15 minus 8 is 7 squared plus 3 squared. Ty, thanks for coming, man. That says square root of 49 plus 9, which is the square root of 58. Katie?
No,
Leela. Leela, I love you, baby. Take care.
Bye.
58 is 2 and 29. 29 is prime, so it doesn't break down any further. Okay. So the distance is the square root of 58. Now, if you put that into a calculator, you get 7.64, whatever it is. That's not the exact distance. That's an approximation. And I need an exact distance. This is the exact distance. Okay? I don't know, if you type it in, I don't know what you get. I estimated 7.64. I'm pretty sure it's not that. But whatever you get is just an approximation. Okay? What's the midpoint between these two? The midpoint, we're going to add them together. We're going to get 23 and 1. We're going to divide that by 2, and we're going to get 23 halves and 1 half. And that is your midpoint. Okay? We good? All right. Midpoint is 2020. Endpoint is -412. Okay? Again, giving credit to the person who told me about it. Love the idea. Double the midpoint, you get 40/40. Subtract off this point. So your answer is 44 and 28. That's the other endpoint. Have you ever seen that?
I mean, I guess technically, because the way I do it is many steps in a row. I like that. That's quicker.
Yeah, it's very, very, very nice.
Clean.
Very clean, yeah. Super easy to do it that way too. Not sure how my colleagues would deal with this. None of them watched the video though, so we good. But yeah, no, double this, subtract that off, you got it. Okay. All right. Do you do it this way? Or do you do the formula?
No, I completely separate it. Took me a while to be able to follow you doing that, if I'm honest.
Oh, really? No kidding.
It didn't make sense to me at first.
It does now though.
Thinking in R2 it makes more sense, but then I gotta go up and come back down. So.
All right, so anyway, what's the 0? If y'all say -41, when we get to the test, if you say -41, and I know this is being live and people are gonna hold it against me, you're gonna call Lakeland. I'm gonna take this marker and I'm gonna try to put it in your ear like this. So not hard. I don't want it to hurt you. I just want you to walk around within your ear like this all day. Okay? Put a super glue in there. All right. And I say that because -41 is the common wrong answer. It's the answer that I get for half the students who haven't watched the video. Right? Like if you've never seen it, -41 is the common answer. You plug in 0. It would make sense to do that. But you're here on a Friday. You woke up early. Some of you are watching at home right now. No, not. But you're gonna watch it later. Okay, you're watching it. Don't plug in X as 0. It is a huge trap. Okay, it's a huge trap. What you do is you set it equal to 0 and you solve that. Does that make sense? And like I say, if you haven't seen the video or you didn't hear it, if it were me, I would plug in X as 0 because it makes sense to do that. Okay, but you're here, you know now. Don't fall for that. Set it equal to 0 and solve that. Okay? And I think what happens, if we're being honest, Christian, a lot of times, you know, if we're just being honest about this whole discussion, there's the eye test, right? I always say answers have to pass the eye test. When I look at the answer, does it look like it's a good answer to me? Even if you have no freaking clue what the heck you're doing, does it look like a good answer? And what happens is, when I multiply by 5, and I get 205 equals 18x, and I divide by 18, and I divide by 18, if this is multiple choice, and answer A is 41, and answer B is 205 over 18, answer A looks really good. It passes the eye test. This does not pass the eye test. But yet, this is the correct answer. Now, I know what you all are thinking. Is the test multiple choice? No. But if it were, you know you'd be wanting to put negative 41. Okay? Because that does pass the eye test. All right? Plug in y is 0. Plug in y is 0. People will say there is no y. Yes, there is. F of x and y are the same thing. Okay. We good? Ashley, we end up with you, baby. Let's do this. So, here's what you need to know about the empirical rule of Chekhov's theorem. Have you watched the video yet?
No, I'm going to go on that as well.
Okay. I'm going to give you a quick synopsis. Okay, because I need to get going. I was supposed to leave 5 minutes ago. Empirical rule is only for bell-shaped curves. Okay? Chebyshev's theorem works for any curve. So the curve can look like this. The curve can be like this. The curve can be like this. Like any of them, it's fine. No matter how crazy it looks, it's fine. Okay? Empirical rule gives you set percentages. Okay? So what the empirical rule says is this. 68% of data will be within one standard deviation. That is always the answer for the empirical rule at one standard deviation. It is 68%. For 2 standard deviations, it's 95%. For 3 standard deviations, it's 99.7%. Those are fixed percentages. You got up early on a Friday. Let me give you a hint. You better know them. Okay? I'm not asking you. I'm just saying it'd be very helpful if you know them.
Okay.
Question 2, test 1. All right. What is it 4 standard deviations? 4 standard deviations is undefined. 4 standard deviations is undefined. Okay. Now, what does Chebyshev's theorem say? Chebyshev's theorem uses a formula. It's 1 minus 1 over k squared. Okay. 1 minus 1 over k squared. Okay. So all you're going to do is plug in k. Now, when you plug in 1 minus 1 is 1 over 1 squared is 1, and that goes 0, and that's a problem.
K will be whatever this number is.
Get k is whatever this number is. Okay. For 1, it's undefined. Okay? For 1, it's undefined. For 2, you're going to plug in k as 2. 1 minus 1 over 2 squared. Okay? Use your calculator for that if you need to. 75%. Okay, due to time constraints, I'm just going to give you the answer. Three. You plug in 3, which is 1 minus 1 over 9, right? Which, again, due to time constraints, %88.89%. It's actually a repeating decimal. Okay.
How do you mean? Like
That one's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, not turning it into decimals.
When you do 4, 4 is 15 over 16, right? And that is 92.375, I think. That one I don't know for sure. Somebody needs to check me on that. Take out a calculator. Divide 15 by 16.
0.9375.
93.75%.
Yeah, I just don't know those on test one.
Our chief officer said he missed them all. Okay, but then he started showing up to donuts and questions. He got better at it. All right, Ashley, we good?
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Could you, interpret rank of 9 again for me?
Absolutely. So the question was, what's the rank of 9 and how do you interpret that?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, we had
Amount of sleep.
yeah, it was the amount of sleep, and what was the percentage? It was 8 out of 10.
It was 80.
Yeah, so 80% of the people slept less than 9 hours.
And then, okay, so Z-score, someone who slept 6 hours has less than.
So the question is about the Z-score. The Z-score of 6. Someone who slept 6 hours was 0.33 standard deviations below the mean.
Okay.
As I recall, I think the Z-score of 6 was 0.33.
Yeah.
I think it was 1 divided by 3.02, and that was 0.33. Okay. We good?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome, Ben.
I'm gonna come on Tuesday also.